Hi everyone, hopefully you can all hear me and I'm coming through loud and clear. We're just going to see if we can get audio working through the device here. Hopes if I get some music going. Right, let's go here. There we go, I think that's working. Hello everyone, sorry for the delay in starting tonight's stream. I literally just only got back in. My wife and I finally had a date night, a night out just for us without the kids. It's been amazing. But it took us a lot longer to get back than I thought it would. So apologies for the late delay, but we're here tonight and today we're doing a case study look at Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. If you don't know what these videos are all about, this live stream is all about taking a look at a game made by professionals and taking a look at some of the mechanics that you see in this game and kind of start theorizing how these games are made. And what we'll do is we'll take some ideas forward into next week's live stream where we'll start work on trying to recreate and try and tutorialize how to recreate some of these mechanics. So hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. And we're ready to begin. Let me just get my stuff in order. So yeah, so this is Zelda Breath of the Wild. I don't know if everyone's played it, but it is for Nintendo Switch. It's a open world RPG. We're joining a save game at the moment. I have no idea how old the save game is. It's fairly old. So I have forgotten all the controls to this game. I've forgotten what I was doing. I've forgotten where I was going. So we're just going to muck about here and see what's going on. I've even forgotten the controls. Let's just re-familiarise myself with the controls. So that's the shield. Bow. That's the foe, isn't it? We've got swing, jump. Okay, that's for the horse. Swords. Okay, and these are my tools. Okay. Cool. Okay. Hi Kim. Hi, my name is Frank, and hi Aras. Thank you for joining us tonight. How do you get that sand material, especially the cool texturing? This sand material, let's have a think. So it's obviously got layers to it. It's not just one sand material. It's got multiple. So we've got this smooth sand. We've got the rocky sand. They may have just painted it on. It's hard to know exactly what they did, but it looks like it's just painted on. And if we go down low enough, you can see the grass coming into LOD. It's got a very narrow field for LOD, so if I move the camera way up, you can't see it, but if I move the camera down, it brings it into focus, so you can see the grass. But you can't see it going too far out. So it's a bit focused like that. The footprints are just decals with a normal map on it, so it looks like it has depth. But they're really not, they're just flat. A short tutorial on footsteps, yeah, we can add that into the thing next week. So the way you do it with the footsteps is on the animation of the walking, in Unreal anyway, on the animation of walking, you can set up certain notifications to happen on particular frames of the animation. And on the frame where the foot hits the floor, you tend to generate a decal at that position. And you just keep doing that for every single time your foot hits the floor. And that's about it really, super simple. The type of decal it drops will depend on the material of the floor beneath you. So this sand footprint, for example, is unique to the sand. So this game has a climbing mechanic, which allows you to climb basically any surface. Okay, X is jump. Okay, and you can pick up all sorts of items to cook and so forth. I say I've totally forgotten what I'm doing, so I'm just going to run around and just muck about. So the controversial thing for this game was the damaged weapon controversy. I particularly think it was a stroke of genius to include it. because it forces the player to adapt and to change their different play styles. If you just stuck to just the Master Swords and not, if like for example, if you found a weapon that you liked and it did really well and never broke, then why would you ever pick up any other weapons? It kind of forces you to think on your feet and mix things up a little bit. Trying to remember where the hell to go. Let's just try and get out of the desert. Remember the desert being a bit shite of a location. I've known not by all means completed all the shrines or got everything else. So we'll go here. The Master Sword, I believe, recharged over time. I think. Can't remember now. Bless me. Yeah, we're just gonna have a simple drink. So, thinking towards next week's tutorials, I'm kind of in the mind of doing. Let's see if I remember how to do the paraglide thing. There you go. I'm kind of in the mind of thinking of doing the special abilities that you have in this game. Hang on. Let's just go down here. This looks like it's got something. I won't start combat just yet. I want to go through some things. So, in this game, you have these abilities, okay? So, immediately I'm thinking of next Saturday or next Sunday, whatever time you're watching this, of doing a live tutorial on how to recreate all of these. Or try to recreate all of them. So you've got bombs of different shapes. So you can throw a bomb, drop a bomb, and detonate it. Very simple. Nothing too stressful there. You've got a square bomb, which when you drop it, doesn't roll around. Yeah. Cool. Got some meat from a chickaloo. Or you can throw them. Oh, look, if I push the right button. Detonate. Yeah. Level detail stuff. Yeah, that'd be quite cool to do. At some point, I probably won't do it for this sort of thing, but I'll probably do some videos on it. So yeah, I want to go through all the features like the magnet thing and how to do that. At least attempt it. There's quite a lot to cover there, but we can have a crack at it and see how far we get. So we'll do it all in Blueprint for the live stream, and I'll try and do everything in Blueprint. I'm thinking already in my head of some ways you could do it. So we'll see how far we get on next weekend. This grass, by the way, to make it bend like this is through the material shader. You can do Vertex world position offsets, which basically you tell the vertices of a material to bend away from an object or a position. In this case, Link. So you can do this in the shader. Again, I want to do this at video at some point. Don't know when. Probably won't be the live stream, but yeah, it's quite a fairly simple thing. I cannot remember how to fight in this thing. There we go. Yep. I've forgotten how to lock on. Get my choo-choos. Oh, pat myself. climbing, is it using root motion? I don't think so, because if I don't know, I don't think it is. I think it's just nicely animated. It's nothing. I don't think it's anything special going on with it. Right, I need to change weapon. Long button. Go for the royal broadsword. The magnet logic. Yeah, so let's try and show the magnet logic. Let's get something metallic. Farming hoe, that'll work. So you can click on it. Oh, no. It is an interesting problem to solve this. So, how do you do it? I think it's not exactly attached to it because it has some lag onto it. So when you move it up, it sort of drags behind it. So to recreate the drag, I mean, the rest of it, the things you're seeing are just particle effects that you can easily do, beams and stuff like that. But the actual effect of picking something up and rotating it around, you know, it'd be a fun one to do. I've got some ideas. I'm sure it's going to be a fun one to try and figure out. Push it away and pull it forwards. But yeah, we'll have a crack at doing that. What the particle effects do you mean, Frank? You get when you hit something like. That doesn't help. Yes, nice. And you get into a fight really to see it. Let's have a look at the map. Where am I? Let's go to that village. Yeah, so they're just simple particle effects and nothing really special in them. Let's fight this dude so I can get an idea of what I'm seeing. Oh yeah, it's just a simple. Oh, he's a little tough one, isn't he? So shy. Done him. Reclaim your arrows. You missed. I always forget what button it is. Oh no. Ah. Oh, we've got a woman in trouble here. Let's go save her. Can't wake her. Yeah, so you get like a swing effect off the end of the weapon. That's a trail effect. You can do that in Unreal. It's a type of particle system. Let's talk to this lady. Ah, nothing special. More bokoblins. Causing mischief. Oh, run away. So I'm trying to read chat whilst playing. It's a bit difficult, but so Kim is asking, when Link blocks and battles, the movement of Link changes so that he rotates towards the enemy. Is that using equipment to find rotate? Yeah, essentially, you get two locations and you put in find rotate, and it'll rotate. You can rotate the character in this case, whichever way you want him to face. Aras, do you plan on making locomotion animation tutorials for Zelda? Not for Zelda, I doubt. I mean, Zelda, the locomotion for Zelda is pretty much the same as any other third-person action game. There's some unique things to it, like for example, you got full control of the camera when you're standing still and things like that. His movement is tied to the camera, because if I push forwards and change my camera's rotation, he moves around to a different location, which works especially well when you're doing open world games like this. If it's linear, you could do it the other way, but for open world games, you definitely make it so it follows the camera's rotation rather than that of the character. I literally don't know what I'm doing. I'm just running around. So keep asking questions. We'll keep going around and seeing other things and we can mess about with. Let's actually see if I've got any quests that I can jump in on. I've got all these ones I haven't found yet. So if you want to know how to do a menu like this, by the way, we're going over it at the moment in our Patreon videos, where you have like tabs, like different tabs. So this is the adventure log, then your inventory and system. We're doing that at the moment with the patrons. So if you want to know how that's done, become a patron. You can see it. Got 3 episodes in so far. More on the way, obviously. Don't know. I don't know. Let's just run around. That would get anything meaningful done. Okay. I do love this cell shaded look on the characters. It's so nice. See, this is cell shading. So if you want to know how to tell the difference, if I look at the character shading, you notice it's only literally 2 colours, and then one maybe for highlights. That's cell shading because you can't see gradients between. It's a hard line between the two. So it looks like it uses cell shading for characters and then normal shading for the world. You get this nice effect. It's quite cool. Yeah, I won't bother dyeing my clothes. Ryan, I'm having trouble with the reticle and bow and arrow in my game. It works, but I feel as though the way the reticle aims could be implemented better. How would you approach this? How is it done in this Zelda game? Let's take a look. Let's find somewhere where I won't kill anything or anyone. Okay, so we're going into right. So now, okay. So it looks like. Oh God. So when you push pull the trigger in to go into aiming mode, obviously the camera changes to a different camera position. Animations change to a strafe. But the reticle looks like it's fine. So Kim, and anyone else want to know this thing? Currently on the on Patreon, I have something coming up which shows you how to get. So I know the issue. So if you were to do, like I say, a line trace out from the player's current position, obviously it's going to wiggle about and not be exactly accurate to the reticle in the screen. If you want to be exactly accurate to the reticle in the screen, there is a way to get the world location from that reticule. So as the reticle is wherever it's positioned, you can get exact position from that. So that is definitely something you can do. So it's on the Patreon. For the doors, we're doing a keypad door system that uses that. So you can use a reticule to aim certain things. How do you have weather in the game? Okay, so rain, like this, okay? Now, there's numerous ways of doing it. The easiest way to explain it is that it's a well, first of all, it's a particle system, yeah? But the particle system isn't obviously covering the whole entire world. It only covers a certain amount, and obviously it's starting to stop raining, as we were just talking about it. It's interesting, because I've got little splashes coming off everything as well. That's very cool. So it probably has two types of particle systems. One for where water droplets collide with objects, and then the actual rain itself. Most of the time, rain is localized to the player. So the world doesn't actually have the rain in it, it's just around the player. Imagine like a little rain cloud that follows the player. So everywhere you go, it looks like it's raining, but it's really not, it's just raining above you. It's usually how you do it. Because if you were to cover the whole map in rain, it would just get laggy because you've got loads of particles going on. So you typically try and reserve it just for the player. Yeah, Kim, the keypad doors, it's not all out yet, but you'll eventually get all 3 episodes over the next couple of days. And after that, you'll see how to do the reticule aiming things. So that's how you get a position of the reticule after the fact. Hi, Chromo. No worries. I'm glad you found it helpful. There's loads of really cool animation tricks they do with Link in this game. So as you go up steep hills, his walking strains. It becomes a lot harder for him to walk up it. That's some cool detail. Also, as the weather changes, he'll get shivers and hot, bothered, more fidgety. If I just climb something and just stay still, he'll have little fidgets. That's a bad example. Let's get on a flat wall. Let's go over there. I've forgotten how you run in this game. Nope. Oh, there you go. That's correct, Jamie. So, yeah, if you climb the wall here, okay, and if I just stand still, you'll see he has little fidgets. So after a time, you see the fidget just happen. Wait it out. Maybe I have to strain my stamina a bit more. Naturally, let's say, I just need to find any cliff that I can actually run up and get on. Right, Let's see him fidget, hopefully. But he does something to reaffirm his grip. It's a really nice touch. Of course, not going to do it now. I'm streaming. Oh no, never mind. So those adding little fidgets to animations really sell character. It's really a good way of making characters feel a bit more alive. Just sells the whole notion of the game a lot better. Okay. Oh. Reading chat, I didn't notice the lizard. Come at you. Oh. I've lost him. Yeah, he's gone. So I'm trying to read the chat. Kanti. You know what I think is good tutorial series? The cooking in this game is really in depth. Maybe a way to store information in data tables related to the required ingredients for the recipe. Yeah, I really like the cooking in this game. So the way I would do it, let's find a cooking pot. Let's go out to that town. Oh, fuck, piss off. Find a cooking pot and I'll go through how I think you would do it. Oh look, he's still alive. Anyway. Whilst I'm getting there, let's read another one. Kim. Right, with the arrow, we can use the projectile component. When I fire my arrow and move my character, it sort of follows the movement of the character whilst going towards its target. I'm not using a local space, I believe. Any ideas? Don't know. I'm not too sure about that one. I have to see it in person to see what's going on. Hard to do it from descriptions. Ryan Scott, have you thought about doing a melee combat tutorial series? Seems like it would do well. Yep, it is coming next year at some point, probably early next year, along with melee AI as well. So do a third-person action game like this sort of thing. I didn't read any of that. So it's time to do a sheep. Never mind. Alright, let's find a cooking pot. Usually it's way in the house, I think. Not in this one. No. Right. Keep an eye out for a cooking pot. I saw one earlier. Red Moon. They usually buy houses outside. There we are. Need to light it. Oh, I forgot how to do all this stuff. Oh, hang on, I was going to do its animation thing in a second. Wait for it to go. Hi, Alexander. I am doing well, yes, thank you. Ryan, how parry mechanics work in games? A parry mechanic. Okay, so again, there are multiple ways of doing it. One such way would be um, animation based. So when an enemy has, when you've dodged an attack, during your dodge animation, there'll be a window where you can push the attack button to carry out a parry, and then your animation system will just go through the parry animation. Oh, I need a stick. A torch. There you go. Nope, that was a bad move. Nope, I forgot all the controls. It's not useful. There's a way to hold it up. Yeah. Can I not light these things? Can I not use these things? I say I've forgotten all this stuff. Right, let's just hold that. Okay. Wrong one. Hold. I don't get what I'm doing wrong. Why have I forgotten how to do this? There was a way to light these things. What am I missing? I can't remember how you did it. I love this game. I think this game is great, Alexander. It truly is I've never had a game feel like you're exploring it more so, and it has really unique ways of solving problems. Like it allows the player to use their own ingenuity. It makes you feel clever. Okay, whenever a game makes you feel clever, that's brilliant. You always want to make the player feel clever. Right, there's a fire over there. Can I cook with the fire? Hmm. Never mind. Right, let's try this again. No, I'm doing it all wrong. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I thought I did have to do, but I've lost the torch now, so let's try and get a wooden stick from something. A tree. I think these things are going to drop sticks, are they? Just keep knocking down a tree. Whilst I'm trying to get this going, so the crafting in this game, the cooking that happens in this game. Let me explain this. Okay, so you have all these materials and ingredients, and all these ingredients have certain properties to them. Okay, so if you read the text, you can see their properties. So this one, for example, will increase electricity resistance and so forth. And you basically want to. There are finite things you can make, and if you say the ingredients for, say, let's say pumpkin pie requires things to be sugary and floury or whatever, and then you just assign those tags to various items. So when you add these items to a pot or a menu system, whatever it may be, it just looks at the tags of these items and then determines whereabouts it should cook them. But I can't. I'm struggling to show you because it's a. I can't remember how you fucking cook. Or even just make torches. I don't think. Can you make torches? Have I got actually arrows I can use? No. I'm pretty sure you just drop these. There you go. Tree branch. I do. Oh. Okay. So I go to this thing here. Get some fire. Go to that pot. So the tag system would work as well for flaming stuff. So if you want something to catch fire, you give it a tag of flammable, and it will catch fire and do its thing. Hopefully it won't go out by the time I reach the bloody pots. If not, maybe I can swing it in this. Yeah. There we go. That's what I want. Right. So, for example, if I was to pick up, I've forgotten all the nuance to this. Right, I need some health. So let's put some health in it. So these radishes, hold that, and we'll hold that, and you can combine them into other things. So there is a herb that actually does something like that. No, yeah. Acorn, why not? And whatever, you just hold whatever you like, and you can throw them in, and it cooks them. So all you do is just look at the tags for these items and see if they match any particular item on the list. If they don't, you can output the broken recipe. But in this case, I've actually got a full recipe, so it's matched something in the list. So now I've got that in my inventory. I can go into my food, and I can eat it. There you go. Yeah, it's just a lookup table. So there's not many tags really to it. If we actually just looked at the, so all the materials you can get, they all come in various shapes. So you've got fruit, mushrooms, and you see the mushrooms, all these things here, and basically that each of them are the same as other stuff. So for example, we've got let's take the mushrooms for example. So we've got a stamina based one, and if I go into my herbs, there'll be a stamina based one if I've got one in stock, which I don't think I do. Cold resistance, heat resistance. No, I don't. But you have also herbs of the same type. So you have, like for example, electric mushroom, and electric herb, and you got bugs and beetles as well. And these will what do they do? They give bonuses. Like you can combine them with bonuses. But yeah, it's just a lookup table. Oh, well done. No, I didn't actually. I didn't actually complete this game. I kept doing stuff outside the world, and never actually went into the castle and had a crack at it. Um, Too busy trying to find everything. One day I'll probably just sit down and just go straight to the castle and just do it. Get out of the way. If you don't know, people watching this, that you can actually complete this game without actually doing anything. You go straight to the last boss if you like. It just makes it harder. It's a fun world to explore. My only criticism of it is I think the shrines could be a bit more unique. I don't like how modular they are and how gamey they are. They look like puzzle rooms and they are puzzle rooms. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish it was a bit more in world. That's my only criticism. So one thing I quite like, let's see if I can find something to do it with, is the stasis. I'll go away. On a rock or something. Got something to hit. So that's gonna be a bad guy, isn't it? Yeah. Want something to hit. One for the most barren looking place in the world. Oh, there you go, there's something here. Let's bomb this. Cool. Aras, in a new tutorial system about a series about melee combat, what kind of topics do you prepare? So with it, I want to cover all melee, just melee combat with blocking and attacks, but chain attacks. So, for example, when I swing, I go 1 and 2. It'll do different animations based on it. So 1, 2. This one does 2. Let's go for a smaller weapon. Let's go for no. Go for my sword. So that animation, I'm going to show how to do that. So you can chain attacks. So if you tap your buttons in the correct timing, you can chain attacks and heavy attacks, things like that. So I'm going to show that. And I'm going to show blocking. I'm going to show lock on. And I'm also going to show, probably in a separate series, the AI, how to do the AI part. So the AI would be sort of like how Batman Begins, or Batman Arkham, sorry, has their enemies. So they circle around you and they attack you and sort of almost in turn. So we'll be doing that in that way. Some boxes here I can do this with. Okay. So next week we're also going to do this and show how to do stasis. So you can stop time on this thing, whack it a bunch, and it will then fly off in that direction. Yeah. So I'm going to show that as well next weekend. Climbing tutorials. I've done the clamber system that we took from Apex Legends, and it works kind of similar to that really. So check out that clamber system, and that's pretty much it. And if you want to do it in third person, it's basically the same thing. It's just with animations. So yeah. Just chuck an animation onto it instead. And you're good. I've forgotten what the glowing sword means. There's something nearby. Climb this. Oh, maybe not. My name is Frank. How do you activate a harsh landing after a longer fall? Take it from the velocity of the character. If you get the speed from the velocity by getting vector length, you then go, if the speed upon landing is over a certain amount, play this animation. If not, play the lower animation. So just get the vector, velocity, sorry, and get vector length. All there is to it. Aha, treasure. Chaos. What about having hive mentality or meme mentality of enemies where they all get alerted if others nearby do? Yeah, that would be what we do. Yeah, not too difficult. That we've done a little bit of that with the shooter AI stuff. Good night, RS. Oh, must be quite late in Turkey. Good night. So it's full. Oh dear. Let's jump over here. Oh, fucking main. Bollocks. Oh, fuck off. There you go. Oh, my back. Mm. Ah, I've lost all there. No more space in my inventory. Hello. Nothing else around here really, is there? Let's get the Zora flippers on. Best be. Oh, I can't. It's too powerful of a The cant's too powerful. Can't do it. For God's sake. Alexander, a hardcore mode where all enemies would attack you basically at once instead of taking turns. I would recommend highly against it. Not many, well, I don't think of any games that do that because it's very bad game design. You never want the player to feel like they had impossible odds. You want them to fail because of their own failings. And if you just lob everything at the player, it's not going to be good. So from a game design perspective, I would avoid doing that entirely. But it's simple. You just don't do the ticketing system. You do, which is how you do the turn taking. It's a ticket system. You just don't do that. You just turn to all attack, regardless of whatever's happening. Yeah. I think I remember like foxes take you to something. You follow a fox. Oh. There you go. Gotcha. Done them in. Oh, okay, I'll be on one. Cool. All this stuff. One thing I noticed as well is that when you locked onto an enemy, the camera would center itself between you and the enemy. So the camera changes to a sort of a battle camera, essentially. Let's have to find another enemy to show it off a bit better. But that's what it looked like it was doing. Quite cool. So when you get into a locked on state, it generates a new camera that positions itself between you and the enemy. And then as you rotate around, it kind of uses that center point as a rotation. That's what it looks like. But I need to see another enemy really to test it out. There's one over there. Yeah, so if I lock onto this dude, or one of these dudes. So if I turn the camera around, notice the camera's now in the middle. Rather than, and it centers back onto Link when the enemy's dead. Do that again. Lock on, turn the camera. It's now in between the two. So the fight will always be in shot, and then it snaps back to Link. Again, the camera moves. So always keep the enemy within the middle range. That's interesting. That'd be a good one to try and figure out how to solve ourselves. I got no room for that. What's that? That looks interesting. I know it's a little hut. I've been there before. So So hard difficulty. Usually, again, there's loads of ways of doing it. But for example, one thing you could do is change the window of time you have to parry attacks or to react. So you speed up their animations, and so you can deal damage quicker. Um, decrease the wait time between attacks from different enemies. There's loads of things you could do to make the game harder. Um, but bear in mind, making it harder does not necessarily mean making it better. That's the only thing to be aware of. What's that? I just noticed that up there. Anything? I'll try and shoot it over it is. No, alright. Well, I need some more arrows now. I forgot, can you craft arrows in this game? Got exactly what you can do. Hey, Rodrigo. Oh. I don't want to do that. I forgot how you craft arrows. Can you craft arrows? I think you could. No. Don't know. Anyone else remember how you do it? I can't remember how you do it. Or if it's possible. Go to Quick Village and there can you buy some there. Yuri Engine. I don't. As far as I'm aware, I don't believe Zelda was made in Unreal. As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong, but I don't think it was. Agreed. I want to see more Ganondorf. Dude's a boss. Right. Remember rightly, I think arrows were sold in this house over here. That's the inn. Maybe it's this one. Yep. Let's sell some stuff. There you go. Any type they got? What's this? Fire arrows. Yeah, I'll take some of those. So, if you just joined us, we're looking at Breath of the Wild, and to decide on what we're going to be doing next week's live stream. So for next week's live stream, so far it looks like we're going to be trying to recreate these multiple systems. So we've got the bombs, got the magnesis, stasis, and the cryonis. The cryonis we haven't showed off yet. I'll show you what that does. But we're going to try and recreate all four of those in a tutorial next week in UE4. Hey, what's that now? So we'll take a look at these tonight and look at how we can recreate them. Hello. So if I put an apple here, I'm going to get a little Kurok. Apple. Old. Super Junior XT. Will I be making AI similar to something like Hello Neighbor, where he has idle states and just walks around and does stuff, as well as then hunting and chasing you? I eventually want to do a lot more stuff with AI. I've got tons of stuff I could do with it. So look out for more AI stuff in 2020. We'll be doing all sorts of things. So a couple of things I want to do with AI. I'm going to do melee combat AI, zombie AI. I'm going to do flying AI as well. And if I get time to also do pet AI with animations as well. Show how to do things like have a dog that you can throw fetch with and things like that. So lots of cool stuff to do with AI. Plenty of stuff you could do with it. So many more to come. How do we do? I think we did. That's it. Do that, and then you go whoosh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, Chaos. So a lot of times, Nintendo do make their own engines, but they have used Unreal before. So, for example, Yoshi was made in Unreal, the latest Yoshi game. And I think you'll see more games coming from them made in Unreal, just because it's a lot cheaper to make games with Unreal than it would be to spend time in R&D making your own engines. Breath of the Wild 2, I would assume, will use the same engine as this one. So that's already money they've re-spent. They have to worry about spending it again. Get away from me. But yeah, so they're not adverse to using Unreal or any other game engine. And I fully expect them to use more and more of it as time comes. Yeah. Which is cool, which is exciting. It's good to see big studios using Unreal too. Yeah, I believe in Ocarina of Time, Link was royal blood. That's why he wasn't. That's why he grew older. He was like an orphaned kid. Um, was it royal blood? I don't know. That's why he grew older. Because he was human, not a what do you call him? Forest kid. I don't know what you call him. Can't remember now. Kokiri. Yeah, I think it's Kokiri. Whoa, he's lucky. Hey, I went for his legs. Got my arrows. Yeah, out of Breath of the Wild 2, I don't know what I'd like to see from it. I hope they do something different. I don't want to see the same sort of thing because chances are it's going to be set in the same world, which would be a bit of a shame. It'd be nice to get something again different. Um, hmm. um, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure where they could go, but I'm sure they're thinking of cool ideas. We're going to go for a little bit, a couple more minutes, and then we'll start closing out. So if you have any questions about this game or any things that you're curious how they may have achieved it, let us know now before we sign off. Uh, where'd that fox go? How did I make the world? It's mostly landscape, so you can make this in landscapes with some meshes and things like that. Lots of LOD stuff. Um, yeah, it's just basically a landscape. A very intricate one. Level streaming happening all the time. There's no way you could do this without level streaming. It's way too much in the world. But you can see the level detail stuff working. Oh, that dude can get fucked. Good shot. So, level streaming is so you have a world, like you build the whole world as is, but the contents of that world are streamed in. So, for example, when enemies, for example, are not all in this world, they're what we call level streams. So, as you progress through the world, you enter sort of areas, it will load up the enemies of that area, and you usually have these areas overlapping. So there's a bit of um, overlap when it comes to the loading. So all these enemies weren't actually here the whole entire time; they just stream in. Um, it sounds pretty obvious, but that is what's happening. Um, you set that up in Unreal quite easily. I will show you how to do that at some point. Again, it's on the list to do. Um, I've got tons of videos to do, but that's one of them at some point, showcasing that stuff. Um, but yeah. So yeah, you're right, Chaos. So that's the ups and downs you have when it comes to Unreal versus uh, proprietary engines. Proprietary engines, you can build them customly for what you need them to use for. However, the downside to that is that you can't then, well, very rarely be able to reuse them for further projects because what you've made it for one game may not work necessarily for the other one. My case in point is the Frostbite engine. It's been many times noted that the Frostbite engine isn't great for anything that isn't a shooter. It's always struggled, hence why Anthem was so what it was. So EA took a bit of a gamble there, and it kind of hasn't paid off because their Frostbite engine needs a lot of work done to it. Unreal is quite universal, but as universal things come, they're not always great. It's like having a universal remote. Universal remotes are great, very useful. However, you're not going to get the all functions working on a universal remote. You may be missing something. Yeah, so there's always pros and cons. Okay, things to take and give. Um, give and take, as the saying really goes, of how to actually use it. So yeah, developers have to weigh the cost. Also, it costs a lot of money to make your own engine. Um, so if they have the fun to do it, they can do it, but it is usually quite expensive to do. It takes some time. Ocarina of Time, it's one of my favourite games of all time. I love it. Get out of here. Choo choos. Yeah, I recommend completing Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is just amazing. It's so good. So well made as well. Super Metroid is also great. Kim, you're missing out. Great games. Super Metroid's on the Switch, on the Nintendo Entertainment System online thing. That library there. Play Super Metroid. Super Metroid is cool. I'm a sucker for Metroidvanias. I love them. Ooh, ooh. How did I make the atmosphere here? Do you want to be a bit more specific? What do you mean by atmosphere? Do you mean like the haze? Like the rain haze? Need a bit more info. What you mean? Oh my god. Let me up this damn thing. Christ for that. I would recommend you play Ocarina of Time and Super Metroid. Nintendo games aren't meant for watching. Play them. Go there. Yep, Kim, that's how you do that. You change the friction controls. I'm looking at the map. Let's see if I can find a way in. That's nearby. It isn't. Okay. I too recommend you play Ocarina of Time. I've forgotten how you do the shield block thing. No. No. Forgot how to do it. Nope. Bollocks. There's a way to deflect it. I can't remember how you do it. It's you get your shield out and then. No. No. That's that. Okay, there you go. See if I can time this right. Wait, does he destroy itself now? Come on. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're going to end it here. Join us next weekend where we're going to try and recreate these 4-5 tools. Okay, So I'm going to have a crack at trying to do all 4 or 5 of them. Depends if you count the 2 sort of types of bombs as separate entities or not. But that's what we'll be doing next week. So join us next time for next week's live stream. And yeah, in a live UE4 tutorial. Thanks very much everyone, and I'll see you all later. Have a good night.